What's going on, guys? So in this video I'm going to show you guys well, my strategy, or at least my opinion, how to move as your movement and your spacing is a little bit different for player 1 and player 2. So in player 1 you get to act first of each phase, well, in the beginning, until kill them off. So that will explain later. So for example, usually in these situations here, you want to move your tank first. Usually moving your tank, it's just better and allows you to kind of control where these guys go, because if he's your leader and you guys should be, in the range where he can guard for you. Otherwise there's no point bringing a tank. And usually as a tank you do want to look for the terrain where it gives you extra defense. So that's where you want to aim for. So I'm going to kind of aim for this. So Langrisser should have been started over here, so you'll get this tree. But it doesn't really matter anyway. So let's say I want, and you have to look at their team formation. So now here, can I go really aggressive? If I can, then yes, I can go in. But no, then you want to kind of play a little bit closer to your team and be a little bit more passive. So those are matchup knowledge, which I wouldn't go through in this video. So let's say now we're opponent here. I'm also controlling this account. So now you have to look at it. Of course, we're just gonna say that we're gonna move with our tank first. So now you have 2 DPS and debuffer. So we'll count this as 3 DPS. So now you have to really be careful and look at their skills and everything. But again, I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to go through how we're going to move our units and what we should do in these situations. Usually there's no actions in the first turn. Action comes in the second turn, or even the third, fourth, fifth. Depends how passive each party plays. So here, a lot of people make this kind of mistake. We know that there's not going to be any action. And some people would go faction buff. So if I faction buff, these 4 guys are in the same faction here. So you don't want your faction buffer to move first. The reason why is because if I do it now, if they move, they lose a turn of faction. They're gonna lose it on this turn because they end their turn. So now you probably want to space your guy close to your tank and faction buff later. Okay, healer is a little bit different. Now you have to think. Now you also have to think. For example, here we have Leonhardt, and we have Listo here. So they can teleport, but honestly, if Leonhardt teleports right now, it is pretty suicidal over here. So most likely, Leonhardt is going to be really safe. Then that's the difference as player 1 and player 2. But player 1 wise, he'll be much bigger of a threat, which I'll show you guys later. I'll switch this around, but matchup, characters, unit here, it doesn't really matter. So if you really look at it, okay, there's not going to be a lot of action, so maybe I can come and do attack blessing on Rachel or whatever. It depends what you want to do. Then you think about it. Can they attack you or not? So usually, when it comes to player 1, you play passively. You do want to save one of your DPS at the end. So whatever strat they have, you don't know, they might have some really tricky strats, so they won't be able, your DPS will threat them. They'll be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go in first, because if I do, then I'm probably suiciding. So maybe something like this. If you do want to use Miracle, I suggest you use Faction Buff first and then use Miracle after, because Faction was 4 turns while Miracle's only 2 turns. And now you'll be like, okay, gonna move, and we're gonna get our team ready, like this, and then we'll get Chloe here to do all her bullshit. So this is usually how phase 1 works, like turn 1. Now turn 2. Are we good to attack? You have to think. Okay. Now, I'm out of range. So if I do this, is it worth it? Now I gotta think. Since there's Juggler, so Juggler probably not really worth it, and especially Chloe here now just used Aurora, so they are pretty much immune to a lot of stuff. So you have to think that, okay, do I want these to be... Is it okay to be immune? So there's a lot of these matchup knowledge and your strategy, how it works. And so to me here, I would say it's not worth it, because now I'm out of the guard range. And I can possibly just die in the next turn. Okay, so the only way I can do this is move my tank first. But if I move my tank first, will they be okay without, you know, both of us being tanked? So maybe if I do this, these two are being tanked. But would Tiaras be okay? Maybe if I do this, will Matthew be okay? So I have to think of those. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that. So what else I need to cover? You just have to think, if you're not gonna attack, you do want to move your tank first. But you make sure you have to count your blocks and make sure your opponent doesn't have a chance to come in here. And then you can see he got Breeze activated. So maybe you want to move Bozo backwards. Depends how you want it. Once again, so but usually in these situations now, phase 2, you do not want to move your healer. Because your healer, if you heal first, okay, so now I'm going to make a quick example. We're going to do, let's say I put Matthew here. And we'll get, okay, we'll just get them to fight. How about we do AoE here? Okay. So now you see that Matthew is damaged. So, oh shit. I don't like Matthew, you know, dying right now because he's my faction buffer, etc. So we're gonna go like. So there's, again, it's all about experience and strategy. There's a few options. You can literally just go here and tank for him, then he's safe. But you have to think like, oh, would I get killed by L1 here? Maybe I should go here because L1 can't reach. Oh, but would I die to list whatever? So let's say I'm gonna guard. I'm not gonna guard. I'm just gonna heal. I'm gonna heal right now. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm gonna heal right now. Okay, now he's good. Now that's really dumb. Now let's see our second healer, which we don't count her as a healer right now. So now basically, he's gonna get attacked again for no. What do you call it? Like, I mean, let's do this. Okay, now what? Now basically, you have no healer. Now no matter how they attack, you can't heal until the turn is over. So that's not very smart. So usually at that situation, you want to leave your healer at last in a fight, unless you're forced to heal. Let's say your tank is really low. If I don't heal my tank now, my tank is going to die, and then you lose the tank. So those situations you want to heal first. It really depends. You have to be really smart at who threats you, and etc. But yeah, if you heal first, you're telling people that you have no healer. You're free to attack whoever. So that's pretty much it. There's it's kind of hard to kind of explain like this, especially, you know, it's really easy to run the turns. So you know, I hope this guide helps. And this is how player 1 should move. Or at least I say like this. These are the basics. There's so many strats out there, all kinds of heroes, but basic would be like that. Move your tank first, move your healer last. Sometimes leave your DPS. If you feel like the other side of the, you know, your opponent can threat you with a DPS, like Leonhardt teleporting over there. But if you have a DPS there, you have a potential to kill Leonhardt, which makes them, you know, make them hesitate with their actions and stuff. Alright, so now we're gonna switch side and talk about being player 2. Oh wait, well, I'll quickly end the turn just to show you guys how. So for example, now like this. So now you see Bozo here. Bozo literally have 2 attacks because he's the last member moving from here. So let's say we do this. So this is really good. Leaving Bozo, again, it depends on your strategy. But if you have Bozo and if you have a situation like this, it's really good because their healer did not act yet. So if you did this in the beginning, healer heals, debuff everything, then it's kind of pointless of using Bozo. But now, this is like strategy. Okay, so now it forces her to heal the team and debuff. And as player 1, you get to act right away like this. So now Bozo can do another one at a better position and get everyone. So now what? So now she is again possibly forced to heal again. If she heals again, in this turn, your opponent has no healer. So, yeah, I know if that makes sense. I hope it's helping and making sense. I'm not really good at explaining this, and let's say now I'm just gonna quickly get her heal. Okay, so she chose the target to heal already or debuff. Now these guys are all free. They have no heal, and you can just slowly, you'll potentially kill one now, or at least 2. So that's it. So now I'm gonna switch side and talk about player, as player 2 and the threat of playing against player 1. Alright guys, let's talk about being on the player 2 side. Again, we use a pretty similar team here. Well, it doesn't really matter how he chooses. It doesn't change my explanation here. So again, we're gonna move the tanks first. And now Juggler wants to get the water, and you want Landis to get the tree for the extra defense here. And again, you might want to leave your so here, if you look at their team, there's Yulia and Leonhardt. So you definitely don't want to move your healer right away, because she's the one buffing your team and doing all those fancy stuff. Maybe we're gonna, for example, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna move Yulia, and we're gonna do this and buff up. We're just gonna prepare. So usually, honestly, if you see Leonhardt, you don't want to play too aggressive, because now he can easily do his AoE and be close to tank. You want him to kind of like suicide, where if he does all his stuff, you can kill him without being guarded. Okay, so now I have 2 units left. So in this situation, if you do leave her here last, if you move her last, there's no threat. It's no brainer that he just comes in on turn 4 or last turn. But it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna keep showing you guys visually. So now I'm gonna let's say buff my team. Now Leonhardt's gonna, for example here, he's gonna come in like right here, for example. Well, of course these are bad positioning. So right here. So that's not very smart, because I can, potentially kill him before he can act again. Now you get it? So you want to leave, you don't leave your healer there right away, because he would have better positioning. But if you have DPS here, he probably had to move like somewhere here or here, just outside of Matthew's range move, so maybe anywhere here. But in that case, he probably cannot possibly, without well, this one's a bad example, but anyways, he might be, if you play a little bit more passive, he might be out of range to AoE all of them, so you don't want all your heroes to get damaged. Anyway, so let's say this is your healer, and you move last, he's already in. So anyways, as player 1, you can see Leonhardt just moved, and a turn is gonna end. Now Leonhardt gets to move again, so basically player 1 gets to move twice, if that makes sense. So now he can do all his bullshit now. So you're like, oh no. And why is that bad? Because now he's like so far ahead, and now your guys are like dying. And this stupid character can act again. Is really brain dead, this character. Basically just come in and do all his stuff, and then we call it a day. Kill or not, then whatever. Oh, he killed one, that's good. But now what? So okay, so these situations you have to think is like, oh no. Maybe I should try to kill him. But if I try to kill him now, these guys are gonna come in and kill these guys. So being in player 2 is not like you're behind. It's just that you have to play differently. You have to think, you have to move differently. So now basically, honestly, let's say all these guys are super low. Now you're pretty much forced to heal first. I was like, oh, I don't want any of my guys to die. I'm gonna heal first. Just pretend it's not Rachel, because Rachel attack and then he can heal. But then now, this guy can just come in like, now it's free. I mean, he can choose to move his tank over first, if he wants. It depends how he wants to play this. Or he can just come in and, you know, use Yulia and start wrecking things up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It depends how you want to do this. And if you know that the Leonhardt is not playing very passive, then you can kind of bait. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about those strats because it's not it's kind of situational too. But this is the basic how you want to move as player 1 and 2. When to move your tank, when to move your healer, leave who as your last unit before the turn ends, etc. So that's it. I think there's only 1 week or 2 more weeks left before the season is over until playoffs. So I hope you guys, you know, keep grinding and hope, you know, whatever your goal is, maybe like Gold 3 skin or Langrisser. Hope these helps. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.